Has CM Punk's history of behavior issues ruined his legacy? Apparently, there's an anniversary that we need to celebrate today. But what's that? I don't know. We'll get all into self-sabotage and people who ruin their careers on today's episode of Wrestling with the Homies. Yeah. Girl, shake that laffy taffy. That laffy taffy. Shake that laffy taffy. That laffy taffy. Y'all know who I be. Still same OG. It's your boy Qwan. If you don't say the down, you ain't saying it right. And I got my boy with me, my BFF, the coolest man in the world, Jay Cooley.
The coolest was good, man. It was good on this Friday.
Yeah. Yes, beautiful Friday. I was listening to D4L before we came live, and fam, you know what that song does to me, dog? It makes me realize how much of a difference kids have with an experience versus with adults. Because I had no idea that song was so negatively received. Like, I thought that was the hottest shit ever when I was like 8 years old. I was doing a dance. But, bro, as an adult, I went back and I found out that guys like Nas and like the real hip hoppers, they felt like that was a moment that killed hip hop. Well, they felt like hip hop died because of all that Snap, Dirty South stuff.
Can you blame them though? They're lyricists, you know, so they probably like, what is this bubblegum music? It's like probably when the Isley Brothers heard of bubblegum R&B when New Kids on the Block came. They're like, what is this? what is going on here? Like, that shit was hot.
It was hot. Life. Hey, for me, D4L was hot. That whole Snap, Girl Shake That Laffy Taffy, and the Soulja Boy, all that was hot to me. But you know, I was a kid, so. But yeah, the adults hated it. And shout out to New Kids on the Block. Hey, wasn't Mark Wahlberg's brother a member of New Kids?
Bro, Donnie Wahlberg is a member.
They still tour, bro.
Still doing shows
right now.
And fun fact, Mark Wahlberg was a part of it and early on, but he left like super early before the hits
started doing hip hop. He was like Marky, like before he was Marky
the Funky
Mark,
Bunch.
He was like under them, and then almost on that. What was the other Aaron Carter? He was like
Aaron Carter, and that's how I was
vibe. Yeah.
I got their whole album on my phone, man.
Okay. Right.
I'm tuned
in. Wait. But wait,
hanging tough.
Can we be honest though? Good Vibrations was a slap. That song is fire. Good Vibrations,
bro.
That might be the best celebrity song ever.
Even though New Kids on the Block was a knockoff of New Edition because they were started by the same guy who started New Edition that got fired from New Edition from Stilling. His name was Maurice Starr, I believe. So it's like, damn.
He said, word, y'all gonna fire me? All right, well, I'm gonna go get the white version of y'all then. And we about to be hot.
That's what he did. Crazy, man.
Is Good Vibrations the best song that ever dropped by a celebrity? Because what else? I mean, what's his name? Eddie Murphy had a joint. My
Party all
girl
the time.
Wants to party all the time.
That's one of my favorites, man. With Rick James in the 80s.
Look, I was little when that came out. They played it on the radio, but we definitely knew it was it didn't feel like a real song. Because like when they used to play it on the radio, they'd be like, Eddie Murphy got a song. And we'd be like, hey, Eddie Murphy got a song. It didn't play like a real song. Like it played because it was Eddie Murphy, but when we was listening to it was
bro, I tried listening to the album.
You just wanted to
couldn't do it.
Because you gotta remember he was like a real comedian when he dropped
this was the funny Eddie,
like father, family. You know what I mean? Eddie Murphy. He was like raw Eddie Murphy when he dropped. So it was almost like you wanted to laugh. You know what I mean? You was waiting on a punchline. At least from what I was. Now I was only 7. I ain't that. But, you know what I'm saying?
That was Beverly Hills Cop Eddie Murphy. That was
those fun times.
That was that Eddie Murphy.
Man. One of my favorites, man. One of my favorites.
I almost wanted to say Will Smith Men in Black was a slap, but I feel like that don't count because Will Smith was a rapper before he was anything else.
Yeah, people forget that he was the Fresh Prince before anything. So yeah.
And it's funny I bring up Will Smith because today we're talking about self-sabotage, and Will Smith slapped the dog shit out of Chris Rock at the what was it, the Oscars, right?
The Oscars?
Yeah, it was
went on stage and slapped self-sabotage. Cooley. Give me some of your biggest examples of self-sabotage.
I mean, I'm not gonna go out of a limb and just obviously bring up Jonathan Majors, but I'm gonna take it back, man. I'm gonna take it to Nate Parker. He self-sabotaged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bro was like the next. He was gonna be the next one. Bro,
he was the first Jonathan Majors for real.
bro. And then they
Kind
they
of.
beat up.
His past caught him. He ain't do that on purpose.
That's true. That's true.
Like he just was lying and then it got caught. I mean, well, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate.
Mm,
But his past caught up with him. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Self-sabotages.
We see a lot of it. One of my
Riddle,
favorite.
obviously.
Oh yeah, Matt Riddle definitely self-sabotaged himself.
Obviously.
He was on airplanes doing some weird things. But one of my favorite NBA players of all time could kind of be considered a self-sabotage because my boy Andrew Bynum. At one point, Andrew Bynum was the hottest in the NBA. He was neck and neck with Dwight Howard. You couldn't tell me nothing. That All-Star season, he was right there neck and neck with Dwight Howard. But when you think back about Andrew Bynum now, all you remember is the funny haircuts. We remember him showing up with a blonde afro. He had the chin dyed blonde. When your chin hair is dyed blonde as a black man, you know you got to be going through something. Because what you doing? Why do you have a blonde afro, dog?
Yeah,
he was injured his knee, and then went bowling and had a stripper on his neck. You remember that? He was walking around this bowling with a stripper on his neck in a bad knee. What were we doing, Andrew Bynum? And then obviously you remember the quote. Everybody remember the quote when they asked him about the trade deadline and the trade speculation. And my man said, "There's a bank in every city." That started the downfall, dog. He didn't give a goddamn about basketball. Self-sabotage for real.
It's so annoying because like Andrew Bynum could have been one of the ones,
he was
amongst the greats. He was going head to head with Shaq, man. He was going toe to toe with Shaq and not backing down, staying 10 toes down, bro. Like he was one of the ones, man. He just grew his hair out, got a perm, and just lost it, yo. He just lost it, man.
Hey, listen. Hey, he ain't want to play basketball. He ain't got to play basketball just because he tall, bro. Like you go call it right. He ain't want to hoop. He gave it a shot. God damn, Cooley.
Heck no, man. We needed you.
Like,
we needed more trophies.
Yo, but but E is on to something. And if y'all hear a voice, I keep forgetting to introduce him. But if y'all hear a voice, y'all don't know who that is. That's our boy E Almighty. I like to call him E Almighty. That's the homie. He's the producer of the show. So he chimes in every once in a while. So if you hear a voice, you don't see a face. That's our boy E. But he got a point. He got a point when it comes to Andrew Bynum because it's like, even though Andrew Bynum had all the talent in the world and he was big, menacing, could have been a future Hall of Famer, if he ain't really want to play basketball and he was just doing it because he had the size and the skill to do it, you can't really hold it against him that he sabotaged himself because he didn't want to do it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
know that,
bro, we know because when Bynum was drafted, it was already noted that he had behavior issues and he kind of got disinterested at certain points, and you kind of had to stay on top of him to make sure his head was in the game. He was always that type of dude. He came into the NBA needing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to mentor him because without that, he would have just been playing Xbox somewhere. He didn't care about basketball. It's kind of obvious, and that's why it went downhill, bro.
I guess because I feel like a person more like Greg Oden don't care about basketball. Like, Ben Simmons.
Ben
Simmons don't care about basketball.
Ben, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I think Ben Simmons cares about basketball. I think something else is happening. I think Ben Simmons cares about how he looks in basketball as well. I don't think he can cope with the negativity of it, and I just think he didn't know what that was going to be. Like, I think he was just a hooper, and he was like, I hoop, and I'm good at this. And then when it got to the NBA, and they was like, you supposed to be that dude, he wasn't ready for what that meant. That's what I think he still wants to hoop. He just don't like taking L's, and you got to take L's. Kobe took some L's.
Yeah.
Kobe took a huge
Kobe
L.
was benched the first year. Can you imagine the idea that somebody benched Kobe?
Right.
I don't care when it was at this point.
Facts. He was out there airballing in the playoffs. I remember.
He should have been playing.
Right. He was out there airballing against the Utah Jazz though in the playoffs. So I get why he got benched, but yeah.
That's my point. That's my point. Everybody can't take that. Because I don't think Simmons could take it. I just don't think he built for the. Hey, bro, like he was playing in Philly. Philly people tell you trash to your face.
We all saw the video. Ben Simmons, you crumb bum piece of shit. You had 5 points. We all saw that video. But Cooley looked like he had a revelation.
But go ahead. Yeah,
he looked like he had a revelation. What's going on?
I just thought of one of the craziest self-sabotages, bro. The fake Tupac. Jussie Smollett, bro. Oh my God. He crashed out.
You know what? And I forgot. I completely forgot that, bro. I forgot his career was popping. I forgot that he was like doing his thing because the other night I was watching Alien Covenant because I've been trying to catch up on like Prometheus, Alien Covenant, all that because I want to go see the new Alien. Jesse Smollett was in Alien Covenant. He was like one of the people who survived. Yeah, he was in the movie. You didn't remember that, huh? You didn't remember that because I feel like ever since the subway thing around the neck, all that happened, we kind of just forgot that he existed as an actor.
Bro, I forgot he existed as an actor. It wasn't us. Like,
right?
He did that to himself. Like, we didn't forget. They said
forgot
enough.
about that.
Right. Yo, bring him back. Bring back Jesse Smollett.
For what?
Oh, no, just to do it.
Like that. His sister better anyway. So
Redemption. Look, I'm all about redemption, man. I'm all about redemption. Y'all remember Houston, the singer? I don't know if E know Houston.
He cut his eye out.
He cut his eye out.
Bro. Yo, he had a slide. He had to join with Nate Dogg. I like that. I'm with the funny. They still play that song at Laker games to this day. But my man's, he was on that drug that start with them 3 letters. You know what I'm saying? He took that y'all mean and went crazy. Gouged his eye out, man. Sucks. And he was known in LA too. Like people, if you were born and raised in LA, you probably came across Houston a couple times because he used to be out here running around. But yeah, man, it's self-sabotage is all over. So let's get into some wrestling. I wanted to talk about one of the wildest self-sabotages that most people probably have no idea ever happened. Y'all know Teddy Hart, right? Y'all know the wrestler Teddy Hart.
Yes, indeed.
Do y'all know the story of Teddy Hart, though? Because he has a long story.
I just know him dude in some trunks wrestling.
All right, so let me put y'all on the wildest story in wrestling history when it comes to self-sabotage. His name is Teddy Hart. So Teddy Hart, if you don't know, he is the nephew of Bret Hart, Owen Hart, etc. He's a member of the legendary Hart family. And some people might say he was actually the most talented member of the Hart family, but that boy just could not get right. He was the most physically gifted. He wrestled in WWE at the age of 16. He became the youngest wrestler to ever sign with WWE in 1998. But he got released because, you guessed it, behavior issues. He then went on to Ring of Honor, but there was an incident where after a match, he started randomly doing moonsaults off the top of the cage instead of selling the injuries that he took in the match. In the wrestling business, they kind of call that putting yourself over and making your opponent look bad. So ROH cut ties with him. He then floated around for a little bit, caught some DUIs, caught domestic charges. He even upped the blicky on somebody. And then MLW gave him another chance, but he got released from MLW thanks to, you guessed it, behavior issues. But this is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets insane. Right now, his ex-girlfriend, Samantha Fiddler, is missing. She was last seen with him, and she hasn't been heard or seen in 6 years. When it comes to self-sabotages, it gets no bigger than Teddy Hart. Many fans believe that Teddy Hart has something to do with her disappearance. I don't know. It's all alleged at this point. But from possibly the most gifted member of the most legendary family in wrestling to possibly being linked to a murder, it don't get bigger than that when it comes to self-sabotage.
Dateline episode? Like, this just got serious.
Bro, this just got creepy.
Yeah, you said somebody missing, bro. We can't gloss over that.
I try to tell you, when it
creepy.
comes to self-sabotages in wrestling, it don't get bigger than that. Because people think that this man is the most talented member of a family that had Owen Hart and Bret Hart in it. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Stu Hart, the most legendary wrestling family besides maybe.
Like, they got legends.
Right, yeah. And it's arguable that he was the most talented. He signed with WWE at 16 years old. You know what I was doing at 16? I was still collecting Pokemon cards. He was wrestling in WWE, and he threw it all away being an issue, man. That's the biggest example of self-sabotage, in my opinion. Bigger than Matt Riddle, bigger than whoever. Jake the Snake. Look at Cooley. Cooley's stunned.
I ain't got nothing to say because
I'm speechless, bro.
Let's get into this rewind. Hopefully they find
that's
old girl.
Crazy, bro.
Hopefully they find old girl.
6 years, bro.
I don't know.
Actually,
what to say, Qwan.
actually,
like,
I
you
misspoke.
dropped this on, you didn't tell us about this in the meeting beforehand. You didn't tell us it was going to be a missing persons segment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said what you said. You said you was going to talk about Teddy Hart. I said, that's cool. Now it's a whole missing person episode, and I don't know how to get out of it because it's supposed to be fun. You know?
Hey, man, Teddy. But on the bright side of that, when you watch him wrestle, it's incredible. That man be moving. He was one of the first people really doing that high-flying thing that you see now. Like the way guys like AJ Styles wrestled, the way guys like the Young Bucks wrestle. Teddy Hart was doing that in 2001. 2001. But, yeah, you know.
Wow.
Missing people and DUIs and blickies and all that, you know, self-sabotage. But speaking of self-sabotage, just to get us out of this weird Teddy Hart situation, I think we got to hop in a time machine and do a rewind because it's the anniversary of something. What anniversary are we celebrating today?
1 year ago, the infamous fight between CM Punk and Jack Perry took place. That's what happened today. Yeah, that incident.
That's
Punk
crazy.
Choking out Perry before having a classic with Samoa Joe. All I can envision was Homer choking Bart after seeing the video. Like it was really crazy. Tough love. The incident led to Punk and Jack both being suspended and Punk returning to WWE unexpectedly months later. Crazy thing about it all is 2 words changed the trajectory of professional wrestling. Real glass. Crazy. The world threw Punk in a trash bin and thought it was a wrap for the guy, but pinched me twice and called me Willie. Punk returned to WWE in his hometown, arguably the most shocking returns in history. We must thank Jack for altering this wrestling timeline.
Facts.
A timeline I can follow, unlike Tenet, which had like 5 different times. I had to watch it like 5 times.
Facts.
Oddly enough, this whole thing might be the best thing that's happened to both of them. Punk hated AEW and he wanted to get fired. And Jack is having a scapegoat run while receiving huge pops.
Yeah, facts.
So, go on.
What's up?
We talk about self-sabotaging, but
yeah,
it's looking like both of them, they self-sabotage, but
like, I don't know. I don't know.
Who's benefiting from this more, Jack or CM Punk? Ooh. Because on one hand, one guy, you know, he tried, but it set back, and now he's coming back. And on the other hand, one guy's champion, and he's doing his thing. So you let me know something, brother.
I'm going to be honest, and they going to call me an AEW homer for this, but I think Jack Perry is benefiting more from CM Punk's self-sabotage than CM Punk is. Now, don't get me wrong. CM Punk, he's in WWE. He's a main eventer. He's one of the most polarizing figures that you'll ever see in wrestling. You either love him or you hate him. But Jack Perry is doing his thing. Jack Perry is a wrestler that I did not care about at all. Before this whole scapegoat run, Jack Perry could have got fired from AEW, and I would have been like, okay, what's next? I was more of a Luchasaurus fan than I was a Jack Perry. But 2 words changed the course of history. Real glass. Go cry me a river. That set off a chain of events that got him choked out, and it got CM Punk fired. And now Jack Perry looks like he's one of the pillars of AEW. He looks like he's going to be a future world champion and probably an AEW Hall of Famer when AEW Hall of Fame becomes a thing. Meanwhile, CM Punk is over in WWE, and he has all the accolades. He's doing well, but he ain't really a rebel no more. We don't really take CM Punk serious like that. He out there smiling, his side tooth missing. He lost his edge. And also, like, people who really loved CM Punk to death and watched him leave WWE and trash WWE and then go into AEW and get it popping, they turned on him. They don't love CM Punk anymore. He lost a large portion of his fan base. And these were people who've been watching him since Ring of Honor, people who've been watching him since NWA TNA. So I think Jack Perry is benefiting more than CM Punk.
That's a good way of viewing it. I'm gonna say from a point whereas Jack Perry, he has the TNT Championship, and meanwhile on the other hand, CM Punk he's fighting for a bracelet. So I guess so I guess in terms of that, yeah, Jack Perry is definitely more benefiting from the whole situation. But we can't gloss over the business. We can't gloss over that. CM Punk, he raised them numbers. Meanwhile, AEW, they lost their numbers.
But
So,
I mean, that's true. But what's CM Punk legacy really gonna be? Because we know Jack Perry is young. He's still carving out his legacy. He could retire and be one of the greatest of all time, for all we know. CM Punk, when people look back at his career, they're going to say he was great, he was entertaining, but they're also going to be like, yeah, he was kind of crazy, though. He was kind of the Charleston White of wrestling. It was always a lot going on with him. He was always getting fired from somewhere. He was always starting issues backstage. It's always something. That's kind of what his legacy is right now. It's kind of like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is great, one of the greatest rebounders of all time. He got how many rings he got? 6 with Jordan? Or like 5 or something. He got something with he got a lot.
He got like 2 with Jordan, 1 with San Antonio, 2 with the Pistons. Like he got a bunch of rings.
Right. Like Dennis Rodman got a lot of rings, but when people think about Dennis Rodman, you never really hear them talk about basketball. It's the wedding dresses and the flying to Vegas before the playoffs to sleep with prostitutes. It's always something like that. Like his legacy is kind of that. Even going to China or North Korea with Kim Jong-un, like he's more known for that than he is for basketball at this point.
So is Punk's legacy is it already cemented? Is like no way he can reverse this, being that he's doing his political run right now? No. So his political run makes it worse to me because it seems phony. It seems like he's just playing the game and he's going against everything he stood for. Because he left WWE and talked so bad about WWE. So him tucking his tail and going back to WWE because he had no other options. That makes him look bad. Because it's not like he could have just went to like TNA or something. He couldn't just go to New Japan and get it rocking. He had no other options. He had to go crying back to WWE. I said this before, man. I feel like CM Punk is a victim to method acting. Like I said it before, man. He's a victim to method acting.
What do you mean?
And I feel like if CM Punk his gimmick's supposed to be a rebel, he's really that in real life, and he will probably get fired again. So, to switch paths, switch courses, we got to turn him into a political man. Because if we turn him into a rebel CM Punk again, he might literally, truly believe in his mind that he's really this crazy guy, and he gets too deep into the bag, he will get fired. Right. And where he's gonna go after this? It's over with.
This is it. This is it.
This is it.
Unhinged old people need therapy. Unhinged when you're young, it just means people don't understand. You know what I mean? Like it's a difference.
Right. Right. But at the same time, the truth always comes out, bro. The truth always comes out. So CM Punk, he might be playing this little beautiful shake hands. I want to make friends with everybody backstage and mentor the young guys in NXT. He might be doing all that now, but the minute somebody talks to him sideways, the minute he tries to give, I don't know, Lexus King some advice or something, and Lexus King brushes him off, we know what's going to happen, bro. CM Punk is going to go back to the Rebel. He's going to choke somebody out backstage, and then it's going to be an unemployment line for him.
Dang, reminds me of Jedi Survivor, man, when the homie turned on me. Like, that's crazy.
I can't believe, what's his name, Bode? I can't believe Bode turned on the set. He turned on the set. That's it. That's an incredible game. Cooley, you need to get Wukong, bro. You need to get Wukong.
I'm scared, Like,
you should
I think it might take over my life, and I don't know if I want those problems.
Yo, that game is ruining my life, dog. Look, bro, there will be optional boss fights that are so hard, but it's optional, but at the same time, you need the item that you get from this boss to make the next fight easier against the actual boss that's not optional. So even though it's optional, it ain't really optional. So this game is ruining my life, and it's the most downloaded game in like Steam history. It's the biggest. It sold more units than a Taylor Swift album. This game is everywhere right now. I saw Soulja Boy streaming on Twitch. I'm like, yo, maybe I need to get a bag over there on Twitch. A Wrestling with the Homies stream on Twitch. Let's get it. Why not?
Yeah, why not, man?
You feel me? We can get on there and play. We can play SmackDown.
Hey, I'm trying to get to the streaming. So
let's go.
I'm going.
I start playing NBA 2K or NBA 2K. I start playing WWE 2K or something on Twitch. Like, let's get it. Wrestling with the Homies Twitch.
If they want to see it. We'll
that'll be fire.
Right.
That'll be fire. Y'all want to see it?
Right. Like, why not? Because I saw Soulja Boy playing Wukong on Twitch, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is Soulja Boy playing this of all things? And I'm like, wait a minute, Soulja Boy probably getting a bag to play this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that could be our bag. That could be our bag. But yeah, man, I think CM Punk has ruined. I don't want to say he ruined his legacy because I don't think he can ruin his legacy at this point, but he's definitely altered it. He's altered his legacy. We're going to always remember these negative things about CM Punk when it comes up. He's never just going to be, oh, he was the rebel. He's one of the greatest ever. It's always going to be, yo, he was a problem. Remember that time when he went in on that media scrum and called Tony Khan out to his face? Remember when he choked the Young Bucks in the locker room after? Like, that's what his legacy is going to be. He's altered it. It's not ruined, but he's definitely altered it.
For sure, man.
For sure. Who's another wrestler who ruined their legacy? I'm all about the ruined legacies.
Hulk
now.
Hogan, of course.
Damn, Hulk Hogan don't count.
He didn't ruin it because he's always going to be Hulk Hogan, but it's pretty much
he ruined it. It's not. I will say, it's not the same. It's not, bro. In 1997, Hulk Hogan could do anything. He can't do anything. He can do something. He can do a lot of things with a very certain group of people.
Yeah,
right.
He can't do everything no more. Like he definitely could change.
It's
he
like
got that out of there.
It's like it gets worse and worse. Like each year it gets worse. Like,
bro, I was looking forward to the biopic with Chris Hemsworth, and apparently Vince McMahon was going to be played by Bradley Cooper, but they scrapped it. It's over now. It's not happening.
Yeah,
because
it don't end well.
Because he just can't get right. But I definitely did hear.
Got to end well at the end. Otherwise, we don't want to watch it. Right? The movie
Wait,
has to end well, bro.
But no, there's a plot twist though. Apparently, Ben Affleck is set to play Hulk Hogan in some type of Gawker thing. So it's gonna be a movie built around like the Gawker case. Yeah.
Well,
it's not gonna be a biopic anymore. But
I worked at that place for a second, so we could get into that if y'all want to on another episode.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I would, because I only know what I've seen from like TV, but I don't know the full story of it. So like we definitely got to get into that. We got to revisit that eventually because I want to know the details about this. What was Hulk Hogan really doing, man? Because wasn't that his girl or his homie's like girl, his wife?
Wild dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got a game. Look, he trying to get us into the smut talk. I got a game we can play. I ain't getting into that.
Right, what's the deal? It's Friday, man. We having fun.
All right. Were we done with that? Are we good?
Yeah, we done. We can get out. We can get out of Hulk Hogan. We can leave Hulk Hogan alone.
All right.
Hey, but
in respect to stained legacies, we have legacy or liability.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy or liability. So I will name some wrestlers, and you will tell me is their legacy intact, and if not, what is it at this point?
Okay.
All right. Number 1, Jeff Hardy.
Ooh.
I know. Legend. Obviously a legend, but let's just keep it a buck. When should he have stopped?
Jeff Hardy should have stopped probably around 11 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. Probably a decade. Yeah, seriously, he should have stopped a decade ago. Like, it became too overwhelming with the alcohol, and he was just ruining matches, spots, promos, everything. He kept going to rehab, getting out, doing the same thing. It's kind of like what happened with the, Jimmy Uso, in the beginning.
Right.
But and now he's trying to come back and and get in the Hall of Fame. But it's like, bro, you was it. You had your great 09, 08 run. Went over to TNA, had a great run until he started getting, drunk.
Right.
Became a junkie. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, I got to go with liability too, bro. Like once he showed up drunk to wrestle Sting, that's when I knew it was over. It was over. Now he had a solid comeback after that, but we can't forget about that. You showed up to a show that people paid money to see, and went out there drunk and couldn't even compete in the match. Eric Bischoff had to come down and call the match off. You a liability. He's a liability. His legacy is shot. I still love him. He's still one of the few white people that's good in any hood. But his legacy is donezo.
Yeah, from a solo aspect, because the Hardy Boys together is
Hardy Boys together is the greatest ever. But
okay,
liability.
All right, that was a little easy. Now we're gonna get into some real stuff, and we're gonna really see what you thinking. All right, next on the list, Sasha Banks, and here is why. Here is why. Let me tell you why she's on the list. She's on the list because she's had multiple walkouts, right? Always creative differences. And what does that really mean? Because it ain't like she got a real gimmick that we understand. So creatively, what are we talking about? Unless they was trying to have you do something wild, but we ain't going to know that to the end. So the real question is if she stopped wrestling today, where would she be? And then what do you think she needs to do in order to lock it in, since she's currently still wrestling, if that makes sense?
See, that's tough because if she was to stop wrestling right now, Sasha Banks is still one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time.
Right.
That is true.
At the end of the day. But like as far as her creative differences backstage, it's like I don't know if that can stain her legacy because what matters is what she did in ring and what she did for the wrestling coach.
Yeah, but right now she ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, her AEW run ain't looking good, bro.
She not
her AEW run ain't look.
It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going
CEO.
nowhere right now. Like, what's the plan?
That's tough.
Yeah, what's the plan, bro?
She would have to go back home. She would have to.
And there it is. And there it is. That's fine. That's fine. No, but
that's when Vince was. It was Vince was around when she had it.
It was Vince and Bruce Pritchard and them. It's a different. Like it's different over there now. So she could. I think Sasha Banks can go. Or I hate calling her Sasha Banks just because I feel like it's disrespectful to her new name.
My bad. Yeah, that's my bad. Mercedes Moné. No disrespect. I was just writing the thing. No disrespect. Yeah.
Bro, she been Sasha Banks to us for like 11 years, so it's hard to just make that switch and start calling her something new. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I came on here tomorrow and was like, all right, my name is Joshua. Y'all still going to be like, hey, Qwan. Because where the hell Joshua come from?
And her legacy is really supplanted as Sasha Banks right now.
Facts.
And she hasn't done anything as Mercedes Moné to be on the list. She's just a person at this point.
Yeah, facts.
Right. But I got to agree with Cooley. I think it's going to take her coming home and righting the wrongs that happened in the past to really cement her legacy because I stood on her side when she walked out of WWE. We still don't know what happened with her and Naomi, but apparently some not so nice things were said, and I'm going to always stand with the black women, so I stood with Sasha. But right now, it ain't looking too good in AEW, and I don't want her legacy to be AEW. And I love AEW, but I want to see her come home, get that Hall of Fame induction, and get that last run. Wrestle with her Four Horsemen compadres, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky. So, yeah, she got to come home.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Look,
tough.
y'all felt... Look, y'all didn't like that one. Y'all didn't like that one. They didn't like that
one. Yeah, you ain't about to do Sasha like that, baby.
Yeah.
What's going on my TV in the back, by the way? I've seen hamburgers and shit. Like,
who knows? All right. Number 3. This one is interesting. Randy Orton. Now, obviously, he's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
But we talking about legacy, right? Like in the last 5, should he have stopped already? Let's just keep Should he?
Kind of.
Let's get into it. Go.
Yeah, so Randy Orton falls into that Dwayne Wade category where it's like, all right, you kind of going past your prime, and our last memories of you might be you as the not so great Randy Orton versus the legend killer Randy Orton. So I do think that when it comes to people like Randy, or even a guy like Matt Hardy, or I don't know, Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't do things to ruin your legacy as far as like controversy goes, but staying too long and becoming a shell of yourself, that kind of that affects the lasting impression you have. I mean, look at Chris Jericho, dog. Y2J, one of the greatest ever, but our memory of him is going to be him saying, hi, guys, because that's what he's doing right now, and it sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Qwan. It's funny because we literally just had an episode saying Randy was the LeBron of the wrestling, but like he
longevity.
Might be D-Wade, you know, he might, because he's staying past it. And, you know, we love what Randy used to do as far as like his heels runs. He's great as a heel. He's 100% great. Mm-hmm. And he's been a face for the past 3-4 years, and it's just been lackluster. Like, it don't move. So, yeah, for sure, he's liability, man.
Right. And it's not like look at Vince Carter. It's not like Vince Carter was ass at the end of his career. He was still contributing to the team. He was still out there averaging 12 points, getting rebounds, and blocking some shots. But the Vince Carter that I grew up on was half man, half amazing. He was the greatest thing I've ever seen, the human highlight reel. But my memory of him now is just like, oh, yeah, he was kind of washed at the end.
You know what my memory of is Vince Carter is that meme. I got one more in me. That's the memory that's in my head when he was on Hawks, bro. Like,
right. I don't want him on the Hawks to be my lasting impression. I want to see him on the Nets. Him on the Raptors. The Raptors, not the goddamn Atlanta. Hawks.
Tough. Yeah, that's tough. Look,
Dang,
I feel like
Randy.
this segment bringing y'all down. Look, I'm
I'm sad now, dog.
All right, this one's more fun. Ronda Rousey.
Oh, get her out of here, bro.
Get her.
Trash.
She's out the whip.
But she gonna ever go down? You gonna ever have to bring her up though. You gonna
Yeah.
always have to bring her up. But the issue is like, what does it mean now? Like I mean, her legacy is interesting because it's weird in all facets. Like it's weird in UFC, it's weird in acting, it's weird in WWE. But what is it?
Her legacy is she couldn't finish the job. She couldn't finish the job at UFC, so she came to pro wrestling. She couldn't finish the job here. She had an attitude problem, couldn't work well with none of the talent, and she left.
So Cooley was triggered.
Damn.
So her job is just to, you know.
Right, Cooley was triggered as hell.
Yeah, that's some early
I
time.
ain't never seen this man talk like that. He went in.
Bro, I just don't like how she like be trying to bash WWE. Like you don't come like nah, bro. Like you ran from Holly Holm. We know the real. Like and Amanda Nunes. Like we know the real man. But
right, yeah. Hey, Cooley said it all, dog. Her legacy in pro wrestling is shit. That's what her legacy is. Terrible wrestler, terrible matches, terrible attitude, terrible everything. Yeah, get Ronda all the way out of here. What was we saying in our Roman Reigns episode? Ronda Rousey is out the whip. Get out the whip. Out the whip. That's our new thing. We should trademark that. Yo, you out the whip.
Out the whip.
You wildin'. You get out the whip.
OTW.
Now, finally, on a more serious note, and actually an interesting conversation. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, because actually, when you look at it, to me, it's not his fault. Like, right? Obviously, he left early, but we're just talking about his legacy as a wrestler. Yeah. Right? A lot of the rumors that he was booked, the booking was terrible for him, right? And some things happened. Definitely. But his, people love him. So, like, what do you think? Do you think he, not to be crass about it, but his early exit, does that help his legacy, or do you feel like it would have, he would have been one of those ones?
Yeah, go ahead, Cooley. I know this is your man. This your favorite wrestler. So
I was gonna say, I'm biased. I was gonna say he's definitely gonna be one of the ones. Facts. Man. Even the legend himself, Undertaker, literally said he had one of the greatest minds, and as long as you can give creativity direction to Bray, he was gonna set it off. But Vince kept getting in the way with that, and it's kind of like how LA view or the world view Nip. He had his run, but he passed too soon, and then that's when he became this mythological human being person or whatever. And that's what happened with Bray. He passed 36, and he never really got the chance to cement his legacy and for in-ring and all that stuff.
So look, I think because he passed away, his legacy is going to be remembered finally. Like he's going to be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. But when he was alive, like during that whole Fiend run and all that, he was kind of polarizing. He reminds me of Kanye West a bit, and not the attitude, because Kanye West is out of his mind. He's insane. But as far as his Kanye West music goes, it's polarizing. Some people think that it's trash. They listen to Yeezus and they hear him screaming and all those weird beats, and they're like, yo, this is trash. But then other people hear that and they see the genius in it. They're like, yo, this is some of the greatest music I ever heard. And that was Bray Wyatt when he was like doing the Fiend thing. And a lot of people that like are the purists, they kind of take wrestling a little serious. They see the art in it. They love the whole in-ring aspect. That's all they really focus on. They weren't really digging Bray Wyatt and the whole Fiend character, the supernatural thing. But on the other side of that, you had a group of people who really resonated with that and really loved it to a crazy degree. I mean, look at Cooley. Cooley's one of the biggest Bray Wyatt fans I know. So he was definitely polarizing. But once he passed away, I feel like that kind of just ended all the polarization right there. He's going to be one of the greatest of all time, for sure. And he's going to be remembered fondly. I don't know about Bo Dallas though, and I'm just kidding. I like Bo Dallas. I like Bo Dallas. I don't.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
That's
it. Hey,
why you gotta get a shot? Right, I had to get a shot.
Another one in the book.
Right, that was a fun game. And like, for the record, I do want to say I love Bo Dallas. I just don't like that he's cosplaying Bray at this point. Like, I know it's a tribute, but at the same time, it's like you're doing the same finisher. The music is the same. I get it, and that's your brother, so do your thing. But it's like you also not Bray, bro. So
Yeah,
it's like, and I feel the same way about Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum loves Kobe, so he tries to emulate like a lot, like. Cooley laughing, but I'm serious, bro. Like I see Jason Tatum taking the same type of pictures, laying on the basketball. I see him texting Kobe and then posting the screenshot, even though Kobe's passed away and can't answer the phone. Like, what was that about? I see him doing all these things trying to emulate Kobe, and really, it's just out of respect because he loves Kobe and that was his hero. But as a fan, it's like, dog, you ain't Kobe. What you doing? Let Kobe be Kobe. You ain't Kobe.
Bro took Kobe number for the Olympics and didn't even play like that. Like,
right.
Man, that's tough. That wasn't on him, though. Listen, man.
Kerr
killing me with the
Celtics, bro.
Stuff. It wasn't his time, dog. He only 26 years old. Like, it wasn't his time to do that. Everybody want to see him play, but for what?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards was out there playing, though.
Out there hooping with the legends.
Hey, Derek White was on the floor, bro. Like,
Derek White is a role player. That's the point. He had the right place for the thing. Like, Tatum is not the role player. He the dude. And he can't be the dude if Steph is on the court. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, and Kevin Durant. It's like
Steph and LeBron and KD on the court.
Yeah, it's like they play the same position.
And they play the
same position. Like, it ain't. I'm not saying Tatum can't hoop. That's not what I'm talking about. It just wasn't his turn. That's all, bro. It just wasn't his turn. So we let it go. Like,
hey, either way,
2028. What he need to be worried about is that, because Ant said it's gonna be him and Book. He ain't say nothing about Tatum.
Damn. Hey, look. Either way, he got a ring.
He need to be mad at his peers that don't respect him. Don't be mad at LeBron. They did their thing.
Right. Hey, but either way, he got a ring and a gold medal, so he chilling. Like he might have
with LMA.
He got a baby with LMA, a gold medal, and a ring. Yo, he living life, man. So shout out to Jason Tatum. You're not Kobe though. Yo, yeah, he with Ella. You know, what was the joint that what's my man, Jacquees? Yo, Jacquees was a menace for that. He was on LMA head. She couldn't drop nothing without him hopping on it.
Yeah, man.
Baby, I'm tripping. Anyway, man. Cooley, what you got to get off your chest before you get out of here? You better not say you save your money on your insurance from survival. You better not be Geico. What is it this week, brother?
I just enrolled into ICDC College. ICDC College. Hey, shout out to Lil Romeo.
I got a Bugs Bunny chain with a matching watch. Hey, was Lil Romeo hotter than Bow Wow in his prime?
No.
As a rapper?
No. Hell no. Bro, what? Bro, Bow Wow's Beware the Dog was one of my first albums I ever bought. Look up his sales. Like, Bow was he was really one of them, man.
I hate y'all because I tried to end the podcast on the cliffhanger and y'all both said no. It was quick too. Y'all put no thought into it.
Nah.
I don't know, bro. The whole Romeo, that was hot. It was hot.
Cool.
And he had the Bugs Bunny chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that song. But
even though Lil Bow Wow had the iced out Mickey Mouse, I see what they was doing. Yo,
yeah.
Masterpiece hilarious, bro. Masterpiece is hilarious. But on that note, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay notified whenever we go live. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like us on Spotify. Give us a review. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Everywhere we at. Wrestling with the Homies. You know where to find us. And until next time, this is Wrestling with the Homies. We are out of here. Peace. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.